Let me tell you something, family. I've been around a bit, seen a lot, and learned a whole lot more. And one thing I can tell you for sure is this: there's power in stopping the chase. I know it feels like if you're not running after someone, you're not going to get what you want. But let me drop this on you. The moment you stop chasing, that's when you start attracting. That's when you start commanding respect. You see, when you're constantly running, you're telling the world you don't believe you're worth anything until you catch it. But when you stop, when you stand still and let them come to you, that's when you'll see your true value. Now, let me break this down for you. When you're constantly chasing validation, you're telling the world that your self-worth is tied to the opinions of others. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking approval, especially in a world where we're constantly bombarded with messages telling us to be more, do more, and perform more to be seen as valuable. We live in a society where likes, comments, and external praise are often mistaken for self-esteem. But let me tell you, chasing validation is a dangerous game. It's a cycle that never ends and leaves you feeling empty. The truth is, the more you chase validation, the more you lose sight of who you really are. Validation should never come from outside of yourself. It's something that needs to come from within. When you rely on others to approve of your worth, you are placing the power of your self-esteem in their hands. You're allowing other people's opinions to dictate how you feel about yourself. One moment, someone may boost your confidence with a compliment, and the next, their criticism brings you crashing down. That's no way to live. Your value shouldn't fluctuate based on external factors. You are worthy simply because you exist. Chasing validation from others also prevents you from recognizing your own accomplishments and progress. You become fixated on what others think rather than appreciating how far you've come on your own. It keeps you in a constant state of comparison, always measuring yourself against someone else's success, appearance, or lifestyle. But here's the reality: comparing yourself to others only weakens your sense of self. The moment you stop looking outward for validation and start looking inward, you can begin to appreciate yourself for who you are and what you've achieved. The real shift happens when you start valuing yourself for your own qualities, talents, and character rather than waiting for others to validate them. Your value is inherent. It's not something that can be given or taken away by someone else's opinion. When you understand this, you stop seeking approval because you recognize that you are already worthy, just as you are. You stop looking for outside sources to tell you you're good enough because you already know it. This doesn't mean you should cut yourself off from feedback or constructive criticism. Feedback can be valuable. It helps you grow, improve, and become better. But there's a difference between receiving constructive criticism and seeking validation. The key is to understand your worth independent of what others think. When you know who you are and you're secure in your abilities, you'll be able to take feedback without it affecting your self-worth. Validation becomes something you give to yourself, not something you need from others to feel good. When you stop chasing validation, you also stop living for the approval of others. You stop making choices based on what others will think of you. Instead, you make choices based on what aligns with your values, your goals, and your vision for your life. You stop being a people pleaser and start being true to yourself. You start making decisions that are best for you, not based on the fear of rejection or judgment. You begin living authentically, and that's when you start attracting people who truly appreciate you for who you are. In relationships, whether personal or professional, when you stop chasing validation, you set boundaries that protect your peace and self-respect. You don't tolerate disrespect or mistreatment because you understand that you deserve better. When you're no longer seeking approval, you no longer feel the need to settle for situations or relationships that don't align with your true worth. You create space for people who see you for who you are and value you without you having to prove yourself to them. Ultimately, when you stop chasing validation, you reclaim your power. You stop giving others control over your emotions, your decisions, and your sense of self. You become the master of your own destiny, and that's where the real magic happens. You begin to attract the right people, opportunities, and situations into your life because you're no longer chasing after them. Instead, they come to you drawn by your confidence, your authenticity, and your sense of self-worth. When you stop seeking validation, you realize that you've always had everything you need within you. You just needed to stop chasing to see it. Confidence is one of the most magnetic qualities a person can have. It's an energy that draws people in, makes them listen, and makes them respect you. But here's the thing, confidence doesn't come from the external world, and it doesn't come from constantly seeking approval from others. It comes from within. When you stop seeking validation, you take control of your own belief in yourself. You stop relying on others to tell you that you're good enough, and you start believing it yourself. True confidence is rooted in self-acceptance, self-awareness, and a deep understanding that you are worthy regardless of external affirmation. When you're constantly chasing validation, your confidence is fragile. It's dependent on the reactions of others. You may feel confident one moment when you get a compliment or approval, but the next moment when you face criticism or rejection, your confidence takes a hit. That's the nature of external validation. It's inconsistent and unpredictable. It can't provide you with the steady, unwavering confidence you need to navigate life with resilience and strength. Confidence that is dependent on others' opinions is not real confidence. It's a reflection of uncertainty and a lack of trust in yourself. On the other hand, when you stop chasing validation and start valuing yourself, your confidence becomes unshakable. You begin to understand that your worth isn't determined by what anyone else thinks of you. You are enough simply because you are. This mindset shift gives you the freedom to show up in the world unapologetically and authentically. You no longer feel the need to change who you are to please others or fit into a mold. Your confidence doesn't waver based on what others say or do because it's rooted in something much deeper, your own self-assurance. This shift in mindset allows you to operate from a place of strength rather than insecurity. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself to anyone. You stop seeking approval because you understand that you don't need it. Your value is not contingent on anyone else's perception of you. You no longer worry about being judged, rejected, or criticized because you've developed the internal confidence to withstand any external forces. When you stop seeking validation, you stop giving your power away. You stop depending on others to tell you who you are and what you're worth. Instead, you begin to define it for yourself. The beauty of this kind of confidence is that it's contagious. When you stop chasing validation, you start attracting people who respect you for who you truly are. People can sense when someone is confident in themselves and they are drawn to that energy. They want to be around you because they recognize that you don't need their approval to feel good about yourself. You've already got that covered. And because you no longer seek validation from others, you stop tolerating relationships or situations where you're not respected or valued. You set a higher standard for what you accept in your life, and this is reflected in the people and experiences you attract. Self-confidence also empowers you to take risks and step outside of your comfort zone. When you stop chasing validation, you stop living in fear of failure or rejection. You become willing to take bold actions without worrying about how others perceive them. You trust yourself enough to make decisions based on what feels right for you, not what others will think. It's this kind of confidence that allows you to seize opportunities, pursue your goals, and face challenges with resilience. You stop letting the fear of what others think hold you back from achieving your dreams. Moreover, confidence that comes from within allows you to embrace your flaws and imperfections. When you stop seeking validation, you stop pretending to be perfect. You become comfortable with being human, with making mistakes, and with learning from them. You stop trying to live up to unrealistic standards, and instead you embrace your authentic self. This self-acceptance is crucial to true confidence because it allows you to be comfortable in your own skin. You stop feeling the need to hide parts of yourself or put on a facade to fit in. You become free to be who you truly are, and that's when you start to shine. Finally, when you stop chasing validation, you stop putting your happiness in the hands of others. You stop relying on external sources to tell you when you're worthy of love, respect, or success. Your happiness becomes something you create for yourself. You understand that you are the one who determines your own worth, and that worth is not defined by what anyone else thinks of you. This internal confidence empowers you to live your life on your own terms without the need for approval or validation from anyone else. You become your own biggest supporter, and with that kind of confidence, there's nothing you can't achieve. True respect is not something that can be earned by constantly chasing after it or seeking approval from others. It's something that must be commanded through the way you carry yourself, the way you stand firm in your worth, and the boundaries you set for how you expect to be treated. When you stop chasing validation, you stop begging for respect. You stop allowing others to dictate how much you are worth or how much respect you deserve. Instead, you start demanding respect by showing that you respect yourself enough not to tolerate anything less than what you deserve. Chasing respect often comes from a place of insecurity and desperation. When you are constantly trying to gain the approval of others, you are essentially saying, I need you to acknowledge my worth because I don't yet believe it myself. This creates a dynamic where others can see that you are seeking something from them, and this often leads to them valuing you less, not more. People can sense when someone is desperate for their approval, and unfortunately, that desperation doesn't command respect, it fosters pity or even disdain. But when you stop chasing validation and start valuing yourself, you shift the energy. You stop pleading for respect and start demanding it. This doesn't mean that you become arrogant or overly aggressive in your behavior. It means that you begin to carry yourself in a way that shows you know your worth and you will not settle for less than that. You set clear boundaries with others and communicate, both verbally and non-verbally, that you deserve to be treated with respect. People will begin to recognize that you are not someone who can be taken for granted. They will see that you carry yourself with dignity, and this will naturally command respect. Respect is not something that can be begged for. It is something that is earned through consistent actions and behaviors that reflect self-respect. When you stop chasing validation, you stop seeking approval for every move you make. You stop second-guessing yourself and asking for constant reassurance from others. Instead, you trust yourself. You trust your decisions and your judgment, which shows that you respect your own intelligence and capabilities. This kind of confidence in yourself and in your decisions is what earns respect from others. When people see that you are secure in your own skin and that you don't rely on their opinions to feel good about yourself, they start respecting you more. By not chasing validation, you also stop giving others the power to determine your worth. You stop seeking validation from people who may not even have your best interest at heart. Instead, you become the one who decides who is worthy of your energy, attention, and respect. You stop tolerating toxic relationships, harmful behaviors, or disrespectful actions because you know that you deserve better. This is what it means to command respect, to be so sure of your own value that you no longer accept anything less than what aligns with that value. You raise your standards, and by doing so, you invite others to either rise to meet them or fall away. When you stop chasing respect, you also stop measuring your worth based on the respect others give you. You don't need others to acknowledge your value for you to feel validated. You know your worth, you know what you bring to the table, and you don't need anyone's approval to confirm it. This internal recognition of your own value is what gives you the strength to stand firm in your beliefs and your boundaries. You stop compromising who you are for the sake of fitting in or being accepted by others. You become more selective about the people you allow into your life because you understand that the respect you give must be matched with the respect you receive. Moreover, when you stop chasing respect, you also give others the space to respect you on their own terms without pressure or expectation. When you stop seeking validation, you stop trying to control how others see you or how they respond to you. You let go of the need to manipulate others into respecting you. Instead, you trust that the right people will recognize your worth and will show you the respect you deserve. And those who don't, well, they will naturally fall away, leaving room for more meaningful connections with people who truly value you for who you are. The moment you stop chasing respect is the moment you start attracting it effortlessly. You begin to see that true respect comes from the energy you put into the world. When you respect yourself, others are more likely to respect you as well. It's not about forcing others to see you a certain way. It's about allowing them to see you for who you truly are without the facade of seeking approval. The more you stop chasing validation and start standing firmly in your self-worth, the more respect you'll naturally receive from others. This kind of respect is not fleeting or based on the whims of others. It's a deep, lasting respect that is earned through your actions, your boundaries, and the unwavering belief that you deserve nothing less. When you're constantly chasing after something, you're operating from a place of lack. You believe that you need to pursue it in order to have it in your life. Whether it's love, success, validation, or respect, the chase is an indication that you don't believe what you want is already within your reach. You convince yourself that you need to earn it, fight for it, or chase it down. But here's the truth: the more you chase, the further away it seems to get. It's as though the universe is playing a game of hide and seek, where the more effort you put into pursuing something, the more elusive it becomes. That's why stopping the chase is so powerful. When you let go of the need to pursue, you stop pushing things away. Instead, you allow them to come to you naturally without force or pressure. This is how the law of attraction works. It's not about running after something with desperation. It's about positioning yourself to receive it. When you stop chasing, you begin to create the space for opportunities, people, and experiences to come into your life. It's like planting a seed in fertile soil. You don't chase after the seed to make it grow. It will naturally grow when the conditions are right. Similarly, when you stop chasing after things, you create the right conditions for them to manifest in your life. You stop trying to control the outcome, and instead you trust that everything you need will come to you in its own time. Chasing signals that you're coming from a place of scarcity. It's rooted in fear that you won't get what you want, fear that it will slip through your fingers, fear that you're not good enough to attract it. But when you stop chasing, you shift your mindset from one of scarcity to abundance. You start believing that what you want is already on its way, that there's more than enough to go around. You trust that there's no need to chase, because what is meant for you will always find its way to you. This kind of mindset shift changes everything. When you stop chasing, you stop operating from fear, and instead you start acting from a place of trust. You start taking inspired action, not out of desperation, but from a place of knowing that what you desire is already on its way. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the more you chase something, the more likely you are to get it. But this is a myth. The more you chase, the more you push away what you want. It's like trying to catch a butterfly by chasing it down. The faster you run after it, the faster it flutters away. But when you stop running, when you stand still and allow it to approach you, that's when it lands on your shoulder. This analogy holds true in life. Whether it's a job, a person, or a dream, when you stop chasing it, you give it the space to come to you. You stop forcing the outcome, and you start allowing things to unfold naturally. The act of chasing also comes with a sense of urgency. You feel as though time is running out, that you need to get there quickly before it's too late. But this urgency only creates pressure, and pressure creates resistance. When you stop chasing, you remove that sense of urgency and let go of the need to control the timing. You understand that everything will happen when it's meant to happen, and that there is no need to rush. This shift in perspective allows you to relax, to trust the process, and to stop stressing about when or how things will happen. You let go of the anxiety and start enjoying the journey instead of constantly worrying about the destination. Chasing also comes with a sense of attachment. When you chase something, you become attached to the outcome. You're so focused on the end result that you forget to enjoy the present moment. This attachment can cloud your judgment, make you act out of desperation, and create unnecessary tension. When you stop chasing, you let go of this attachment. You start to enjoy the process, knowing that the destination will come when the time is right. You stop stressing over the outcome and start trusting that whatever is meant for you will find its way to you. When you stop chasing, you also stop giving away your power. Chasing something suggests that it's outside of you, that it's something you need to obtain, as if it's something you don't already have within you. But the truth is, everything you seek is already inside of you. The moment you stop chasing, you stop looking outside of yourself for validation or fulfillment. You recognize that you are complete as you are, and that nothing external can truly make you whole. This realization shifts your energy from a place of lack to one of abundance. You stop chasing because you know that everything you need is already within reach. You stop giving your power away to things, people, or circumstances, and you begin to take control of your own life. The beauty of stopping the chase is that you free yourself from the constant struggle. You release the tension, the stress, and the pressure that come with constantly pursuing something. Instead, you allow yourself to flow with life, to let things come to you naturally, and to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You stop chasing, and in doing so, you start attracting everything you've been longing for.